those of us who are now in our mid-60s may recall the times when the term gangster evoked more curiosity than dread. The reason was simple. One had seen gangsters either on the silver screen or read about them in novels wherein mafiosi protected their turfs with guns and bombs. There was hardly any tactile encounter with one in real life. The only toughies one encountered in flesh and blood were street bullies, whose tenures never lasted long enough to become a real threat to the societies. The local mohalla walas would sort them out. But today gangsters are commonplace. Even small towns in Haryana and Punjab boast of indigenous gangs who frequently hit the headlines. The most spectacular in recent times has been Goldi Brar, who reportedly masterminded Sidhu Moosewala's murder. But these are merely examples of the problem that has become a menace to civilized society. Gun running, drug trafficking, extortion, kidnapping, flesh trade, gambling, illicit liquor, and murder are some crimes these gangs indulge in. The question is, how has this menace grown to such proportions, such menacing proportions? There are, of course, no cut and dried answers. The symbiosis between crime and politics is one of the obvious prime causes, and this is decades old relationship between crime and politics. Big business, especially in the real estate sector, is another factor. It all started when, in the mid-60s, politicians started hiring goons to capture polling booths during state and national elections, even during the panchayat elections. Villagers were intimidated by the local musclemen. Over a period, these goons decided that if they could help another person get elected, why not become netas themselves? They might as well get elected themselves. From then onwards, gangsters, respectfully called Bahubali, entered politics in a big way. Today, every political party has history sheeters in its ranks. They have become municipal corporators, panchayat chiefs, MLAs and MPs. You don't have to do much research to identify them. Their behavior in public gives them away. These gangsters draw their strength mainly from the castes they come from. There are historical reasons too. With the rise of ultra-leftists in Bihar, Bengal and some other states, especially during the 1960s era, the landowning communities felt threatened. Instead of trusting the fragile and corrupt state police, these communities pooled their resources to raise private armies. For example, Bhumi Sena was formed by Kurmi landowners in 1982. And it was in response to the murders of several prominent landlords and of course there was also political agitation by Dalit laborers who were supported by leftist groups like the Marxist-Leninists and the Mazdoor Kisan Sangram Samiti. And not just Dalit laborers, even other small farmers. And Bhumi Sena operated in Bihar's Patna, Nalanda, Jahanabad and Gaya regions. Although Bhumi Sena is more or less defunct now, another militia named Ranveer Sena, founded in 1994 and banned in 1995, is still operating in Bihar. It belongs to the Bhumihar Brahmin landlords. This Sena has perpetrated several massacres with impunity. They have got the political muscle as well as protection. As for Bengal, the rise of Naxalites in the 60s turned violence into an everyday occurrence. It became normal thing over there. At least until the 1980s, Kolkata and 24 Parganas frequently quaked with bomb blasts and murders by rival political outfits. The communists and the congressmen frequently participated in such bloodbaths. Now, of course, TMC, BJP, they have also joined the, should I call it orgy? That's it. Extortion and murder had become routine. The Andhra region, which too had witnessed Naxalite violence, does not have gangster activities of the level witnessed by Bengal and Bihar. Gangs manned by Jats, Bishnois, Rajputs, Yadavs, and Brahmins are spread all over North India, especially UP, Bihar, Rajasthan, Haryana, and Punjab, Delhi too. Despite their daunting presence, none of these gangsters has reached the notoriety levels of the Mumbai origin dons. They remain a class apart, and they are India's real mafia. It is believed that it was an Afghan who founded the first mafia gang in India. His name was Karim Lala. He migrated to India and settled down with his family in South Mumbai's Bhendi Bazaar in the 1920s. He worked in the Mumbai docks for a while. Later, he joined a gang of Pathans who worked as recovery agents for Marwadi and Gujarati moneylenders, landlords, and business owners. These Pathans also were used to evict people from their homes and usurp their properties by the big landlords and perhaps even tenants. Soon he became the Pathan gang's leader, who I am talking about Karim Lala. His turf included Dongri, Nagpada, Bhendi Bazaar and Muhammad Ali Road. His gang became notorious for illegal takeover of private properties, running gambling and illicit liquor dens, kidnapping, protection rackets and contract killing. He died at the age of 90 in 2002. Next, his contemporary, but from another part of the subcontinent, and he was Haji Mastan, who was born in 1926 in the Panaikulam area in the present Tamil Nadu. He was 8 when he migrated with his father to Mumbai from Kudalur. He did odd jobs in the Crawford market. He started working on the docks when he joined a gang of gold smugglers. Mastan joined hands with Sukur Narayan Bakhia, a smuggler from Daman, to control smuggling into Mumbai and Daman from the Persian Gulf. Mastan purchased properties at various locations in South Bombay or South Mumbai, including a sea-facing bungalow at Pedder Road. He reigned over Mumbai for 20 long years as an infamous smuggler. What else? Since he had a sharp eye for business opportunities, he entered the till then pristine realms of Bollywood. And he then began producing films. And this set an odious precedent for a relationship between Hindi films and dirty money as well as the underworld. Mastan believed in striking up long-term relations with persons in power, especially politicians and people of influence like popular film stars. When Mrs. Gandhi declared the emergency, Haji Mastan was imprisoned, which proved to be another turning point in his life. Influenced by Jayaprakash Narayan, irony of ironies, he learnt Hindi and in 1981 he formed a political party named Dalit Muslim Suraksha Mahasangh, later renamed as Bharatiya Minorities Suraksha Mahasangh. He died of cardiac arrest in 1994. Varatharajan Mudaliar, another guy from Tamil Nadu, who was born in Tuticorin in 1926. He moved to Mumbai in 1945 and there he began his career as a criminal by stealing cargo from the docks. Dharvi offered him a haven as it had a large population of poor people of Tamil origin. He expanded his activities by running extortion rackets, contract killing, kidnapping, illicit gambling and liquor dens and also grabbing land. He ran a parallel justice system within the Tamil community. When his friends Haji Mastan and Karim Lala moved away from smuggling and for various reasons they also became weak or they lost interest in some of the smuggling activities, criminal activities, Varatharajan became a powerful underworld don. But soon the police started targeting the underworld, especially Wadehra. Finding Mumbai too hot for his existence, Varatharajan fled to Chennai. He died of cardiac arrest. Now we will talk about the most infamous of these dons. Dawood Ibrahim, who was born in a Konkani Muslim family in 1955, and he is perhaps the most powerful underworld don ever, who corporatized his operations. Founder of the D Company, he is one of the most dreaded criminals in the world. Dawood started committing frauds, theft and robbery while still in his teens. Honhar Birwan ke hot cheekne paat, that is a proverb or a saying in Hindi. Later on, he founded Tea Company in partnership with his brother Shabir Ibrahim Kaskar. After Shabir was killed by a rival gang, Dawood expanded his operations to include gold smuggling, real estate extortion, drug trafficking, terror funding, gun running and money laundering. When the Mumbai police booked him for murder, Dawood fled to Dubai in 1986. The Indian government holds him responsible for the 1993 bomb blasts. To avoid extradition, he fled to Karachi. To this day, Dawood is said to be under ISI's protection in Pakistan. The United States has named him a terrorist, while India has named him a global terrorist. The United States has recorded reports of a syndicate running smuggling across several countries in Asia and Africa, in tandem with Al-Qaeda. Dawood also is reportedly involved in smuggling narcotics into several West European countries, including the United Kingdom. Today, his crime syndicate straddles several countries in Asia, Europe, and Africa, with over 40% of its earnings coming from India. There have been many other underworld dons who were based out of Mumbai or had a connection with Mumbai, like Abu Salem or Salem, who extorted money from actors, invested in film production, and often usurped overseas rights of Bollywood films. Tiger Memon is the prime suspect in the 1993 Mumbai blasts. Chota Rajan, a former Dawood crony, is now engaged in a mortal battle with his former boss. Ravi Pujari became notorious for his attempts to extort money from Bollywood celebrities. Arun Gavli hit the media headlines frequently for his criminal activities, and he is worshipped for being the first Marathi Don. Anyway, but none of these Dons could match Dawood as far as notoriety was concerned, ruthlessness was concerned, or the capability to spread tentacles across the globe. India's underworld has had its share of women gangsters too. Perhaps the most notorious was Santokh Ben Jadeja, also known as Godmother of Kathiawar. Charged with 14 murders and more than 500 other crimes, she was the wife of a local gangster. After her husband's murder, she took over the gang and proved to be extremely ruthless. And yes, she was also MLA in the Gujrat Assembly during 1990-95. Shashikala Ramesh was a milk vendor before becoming a notorious drug trafficker of Mumbai. What a change! She had amassed over 100 crores worth of property. K.D. Kempamma of Bangalore was infamous as Cyanide Malika. A psychopath serial killer of female temple devotees, she was sentenced to death. Later on, the sentence was reduced to a lifetime in prison. Dawood's sister Hasina Parker, also known as Appa, was godmother of Nagpada in Mumbai. She died of a heart attack in 2014. If we go by the unfolding scenario in the country's mofussil towns, religion-based gangs are fast taking over the crime world. And this is sad. Earlier, whatever was happening was bad enough. But now, religion-based gangs are spreading and they are more cancerous than The others you could control. You would know who to hit to control it. But when almost every Tom, Dick and Harry collects a few goons and starts his own gang in every part of the country, then it becomes very, very problematic. And these gangs, these religion-based gangs, they are petitioners, judges and executioners rolled into one. And they make the hapless common person's life increasingly miserable. The police either turn into indifferent bystanders or become active connivers. We have noticed this in Gujrat, UP, MP, Karnataka as well as in Punjab and Haryana. Time to stem this wave of anarchy before it turns into a tsunami. Fingers crossed.